snows have passed, the winter's gone. Beautiful flowers grow too big for my love. Spring is here, flowers are ripe, giving their fragrant signs of life. Spring, 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 begins the life of love. Spring, 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 always the heart of man. Birds chirp their song, I sing along, bearing the sweet air profoundly with sound. Notes ring of fire, teaching my love, bearing her heart with sounds of spring. Spring, 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 begins the life of love. Spring, 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 always the heart of man.
All right, Brubs. We're back with new book arrivals, number 335. This is a book and cards. I think I paid 99 cents for this. Witches' Runes, Insights from the Old European Magical Traditions by Silver Ravenwolf and Nigel Jackson. The snow-covered peaks, misty heaths, dark woods, and storm-racked seas of the northern world were the cradle of a remarkable and bold mysticism, whose essence is concentrated in the runes. The runes are a method of communicating with divinity, the god, goddess within each of us, who embodies our pure consciousness and inward spirituality. The Witches' Runes cards are rich in beautiful imagery. Their images have been subtly constructed to contain significance at a number of levels for a visual unfolding of the runes' inner mysteries. All right, let's move on to my other finds from yesterday. Went to the dentist, so I treated myself by going to the store right after. The Infant Jesus of Prague. And this one has some trinkets in the back. It looks like the last year is 62, so even though it's imprimatur 1946, I guess it's 1962. The Infant Jesus of Prague and its veneration. Why do they call him an it? And at the back are some of these. A prayer for you, and then it has like a little necklace of Jesus of Prague, I guess. I don't know what the origins of this Jesus of Prague thing are, but there he is. Infant Jesus of Prague. And then there he is. There he is again, giving the peace sign. St. Anthony's Guild. St. Anthony's Guild is directed by the Franciscan friars of the province of the Most Holy Name of Jesus. The guild exists to care for the spiritual well-being of its members. And then there's this little tinger. What is this? I'm guessing that's the baby Jesus of Prague. Well, like I said, I don't really know the origins of this book or the concept of the infant Jesus of Prague, but let's see what the first page says. This book is dedicated to the miraculous image of the infant of Prague. May this image win love and veneration wherever it has found a home. The origin of the veneration, we're going to see what it is. On November 8th, 1620, the Battle of the White Mountain was fought before Prague, and the Protestant princes were defeated by the Emperor Ferdinand II, supported by the Elector Maximilian of Bavaria. This victory was of decisive importance to the House of Habsburg, the Emperor Ferdinand II, and the Catholic cause in Bohemia. The general of the Discalced Carmelites, Father Dominic A. Jesu Maria, a man venerable in years and distinguished for his many gifts of mind and his piety, contributed in no small degree to the victory. The emperor and the elector had besought him to leave Rome, where he resided at the time, and come to Germany in order that the Catholic soldiers might be inspired by his prayers and exhortations. Pope Paul V sent this man of God to Germany. He accompanied the expedition and was a veritable angel to the army. He administered the holy sacraments, animated the combatants to courage and fortitude, and cared for them in the pestilence that struck down so many. He constantly carried with him a picture representing the birth of Christ, which he had found in the castle of Strakowitz. The Virgin Mother kneels before the divine infant. Behind her stands Saint Joseph, the eyes of each with this picture in hand. Chanting the Salve Regime, the imperial troops marched to battle. The venerable priest animated the soldiers in the thick of the fight. Maria, Maria was their cry, and a glorious victory was achieved. How came this dear child into this church? Wait. On this altar stands the miraculous infant, an exquisite statue of wax, 48 centimeters, 19 inches in height. The child is standing, the right hand raised in blessing, while the left hand holds the globe, the golden globe of sovereignty. The face, I don't know, where the heck did it come from? Oh. As an act of thanksgiving for this victory and out of gratitude, Dominic, the Emperor Ferdinand founded several Carmelite monasteries, one in Vienna. I'm not done trying to figure out what the baby Jesus of Prague came from. The Occult Christ, Angelic Mysteries, and the Divine Feminine. Let's see what this says. Few people realize that great mystical secrets lie hidden within the teachings of Christianity, secrets to the laws of the universe and their application in our lives. The Occult Christ reveals this hidden wisdom and knowledge within biblical scripture and presents Christianity as a modern mystery school in the manner of the ancient traditions throughout the world. Within the Christ mysteries is the comic effort to restore the experience of mysticism, power, and the divine on a personal level. All right, then. Two copies of The Mark of the Beast from the same store. They appear to be the same edition. It says 1933, but it's probably 40s or 50s. The Mark of the Beast by Sidney Watson. One obviously has a dust jacket, and the other does not. Let's see. See how similar they are. Look like the same book. No, this one's got that. So it's definitely a different edition. And let's see, that looks pretty much the same. Publisher's note. No, this is too difficult to do both. So, after the Lord's second coming, what will happen to those left behind? What will the tribulation period be like? What will happen during the reign of the Antichrist? What is meant by the mark of the beast? What will be the fate of those who refuse to bear this mark? All of these questions and many others connected with the mark of the beast are answered in this realistic, startling, awe-inspiring story. Although entirely fictional, The author has based his narrative on just what the Bible teaches concerning the Great Tribulation, that awful period of distress and woe that is coming upon this earth during the time when the Antichrist will rule with unhindered sway. It is a story you will never forget. I originally thought it was nonfiction, but I guess it is fiction. Oh well. The Woman in White, the classic by Wilkie Collins. Now a haunting new musical. Honduras. I've read this book about 10 years ago. What's it say? Neil Bortz. Somebody should have. What's that say? Something. Latin tax. All right, well, there's that. I believe this is the decline and fall of the Roman Empire, not emperor, by Edward Gibbon. This is volume 2. I didn't find volume 1, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. 1905. The pagans. What did it say? The pagans devoted to eternal punishment. The demons considered as the gods of antiquity. Sounds pretty interesting, buddy. Practical Candle Burning Rituals by Raymond Buckland. Spells and rituals for every poipus. Poipus, bruv. Poipus. To stop slander, light altar candles 1 and 2, light incense, light petitioner's candle, and concentrate your thoughts on him. Say, here stands John Beaver, unjustly slandered. Light the white candles in order and say, about him is truth and purity. All around him is the power of honesty. Nothing shall pass through this shield to harm him. Here is this, 1997. Looks a little moisture exposured. But such is life. Psychic self-defense and well-being. The Llewellyn Guide to it. Anyhow. What's this? 80s? 90s? 1996. Let's see what it says. Fact. Each person and every living thing is surrounded by an electromagnetic force field. It is this force field or aura that can provide you with the means to psychic self-defense. This book shows you how and tells you why you need it. Fact, every person in our modern world is subjected constantly to psychic stress and psychological bombardment. Advertising and sales promotions that play upon primitive emotions, political and religious appeals that work on feelings of guilt and fear, noise, and even certain kinds of music, economic insecurity, blah, blah, blah. That book will protect you. A practical guide to past life regression. What we did yesterday shaped today. What we do today shapes tomorrow. I wonder if these people had this book. These books at some kind of sale. Another Llewellyn book. And is this the one? I know one of my books has some, one of the books I bought yesterday has some moisture exposure, but I don't see it. No, there it is. That one. The one about angels or the occult Christ. Florence McLean's, is that who it is? Yeah. Transpersonal approach to past life. Recall is both practical and spiritual. A practical guide to past life regression offers detailed instructions for recalling what may be past life memories. Equally important, it presents them in a framework that is psychologically sound. McLean's viewpoint is always focused on the here and now usefulness for personal growth of whatever you may learn about your past lives. She offers some interesting comments along the way about the origin of souls and the time interval between lives. I'm sure she does. 1997. Pandemia, a novel of the bird flu and the end of the world by Jonathan Rand and Christopher Knight. Signed by both of them. A novel of the bird flu. What year was this written? Obviously, Jonathan Rand's the one that writes all the Chiller books. What year? Why the fuck would you write a kid's book about the bird flu? 2006. And the end of the world. Why would you write a book? The world was warned the last great flu epidemic near the beginning of the previous century killed millions upon millions of people. Scientists have known that an epidemic of this proportion in modern times, with our advanced methods of travel, could spread the disease and create a global pandemic faster than ever thought possible. Now there is a new threat, H5N1, the bird flu, a virus that, if communicable by humans, could create another worldwide pandemic of disastrous proportions. That, they said, was the good news. The bad news was that no one could imagine how quickly the virus would mutate into a super flu, infecting humans and wreaking havoc in every country of the world in a matter of days. In Saline, Michigan, 4 teenagers are caught in a world gone mad. The bird flu has wiped out billions of people worldwide. Those still alive are forced not to only remain free of the deadly strain of flu, but fight gangs of rogues, looters. Antifa, basically. They fought Antifa. The Rites of Odin by Ed Fitch. The ancient Norse knew a rough magic drawn from the beautiful grandeur of vast mountains and deep forests, from the power of rolling oceans and thundering storms. This religious and magical system of explorers, farmers, warriors, and hunters went with the Vikings to the New World and was practiced across Europe and eastward to the steppes of Central Asia. The rites and beliefs that sustained the Norsemen have been brought compellingly into the present in the Rites of Odin. All right, then. The Drunken Botanist, the plants that create the world's great drinks. Amy Stewart, a New York Times bestseller. To Mom, Miss Molly, and Gigi, thank you for the love and support you have given everyone around you. Mother's Day 2021. Love, Josh and Kelly. It's very thoughtful of you guys. Yeah, so it's basically just a encyclopedia of what makes what drink. To PSB. What year was this? 2013. Printed in China. Why does everything got to be printed in China or made in China? Amy Stewart. She and her husband live in Eureka, California, where they own an antiquarian bookstore called Eureka Books. Interesting. Very interesting. Since I don't really drink liquor, I would have to, none of this would make much headway in my brain. I wonder if there's a catnip drink. Cassava. The cassava root. Sugar beet. Yeah, I don't know the sugar cane. I know what sugar cane is. Trenton. Images of America, Trenton, Michigan. That's a pretty grand hotel, honestly. That sign, not so grand. What's that say? Achula? Achlaka? Or is it OE? Anyway, milk and cream. Trenton, Michigan's downriver from Detroit. It's basically south of Detroit. Industrial little town, which has become part of Hillbilly Central. Children's Pony Ranch. What? They had a pony ranch in Trenton? Look at this guy. Who the fuck is he? There he is, Banjo Paul. The Victorian age was so much better. And look at these people. It's fucking champs. Well, that's post-Victorian age, but still. Everything was better. The houses, the people. Well, maybe not the people. People have always sucked, but Trenton. Nice baseball uniforms, boys. That's as generic as you get. Are they wearing jeans? Sure looks like denim. Nice hats, though. Lumber, coal, N.A. Mans. Is N.A. Mans really? Holy shit, I didn't know N.A. Mans was a local thing. Anyway, that's Trenton, Michigan. The Scarab Club. I actually went here one time and saw Wanda Coleman read. Place was a bit too ritzy. Well, isn't that fucking John King from the John King bookstore? Sure looked like him. No, it's Tony Spina. I don't even know what the Scarab Club is. The Scarab Club. I remember driving to the Scarab Club when I saw Wanda Coleman there. I don't know what year it was. But en route, it was so fucking dark there that I drove over some kind of fucking... It was like an island in the middle of the road, and I just went... Crazy. What the hell is the Scarab Club? On the cusp of the centennial anniversary, the Scarab Club, founded in 1907, weaves itself into the city of Detroit's and the state of Michigan's artistic, cultural heritage from its humble beginnings as the Hopkin Club to its current status in the 21st century. The Scarab Club focuses on fine performing and technical arts and is still housed in its original 1928 building, a historic local, state, and national landmark. That would explain why Wanda Coleman read there. I wonder if they give tours of this place. The Scarab, a poem by Ivan Swift, written on newly proposed letterhead, was published in the Scarab October 1914 issue. Should see if I can find some back issues of that. Interesting. Llewellyn's women's spiritual series, Falcon, Feather, and Valkyrie Sword. Feminine Shamanism, Witchcraft, and Magic. DJ Conway. Ignite the goddess spark and reclaim your power. Reclaim your innate magical power. Strengthen your connection with the goddess and take control of your destiny. Falcon, Feather, and Valkyrie Sword presents a rich array of rituals, practical exercises, inspiring guided journeys, and magical techniques geared to the special needs of women. After reading this book, you will be able to practice shamanism, witchcraft, and divination in their original forms without any overlying patriarchal interpretations and symbols. I wonder if wonder who invented language. Because what if it's a bro and then these women can't use language? Or is that taking back their feminine goddess aspect by taking language and making it their own vehicle? M16, inside the covert world of Her Majesty's Secret Intelligence Service. Stephen Dorrell. M16, Britain's Secret Intelligence Service, is one of the great information gathering organizations of the world, internationally renowned as the employer of the mythical but emblematic James Bond. Yet it has remained one of the nation's most elusive organizations. Its head, Richard Dearlove, is virtually unknown, A contemporary photograph has never appeared in the press, and even its true budget is not made public. There is no legal right to know what is undertaken abroad in the name of Britain's security, what it costs, or how it is run. In the past, any dissonant reports of its operations were effectively quashed. So, right about M16 risks harassment and prosecution, as former members and current commentators know to their cost, and the organization has remained veiled from scrutiny. Its inside story has never been told until now. Damn, this is a big book. 2000. I wonder if Stephen Dorrell had an unfortunate death after writing this. Comcast. Ed Contos. It's a big book. How many pages? 800, basically. 800 pages. The Criminal Personality, Volume 2, The Change Process by Samuel Yockelson and Stanton E. Samanow, which is highlighted by this. I don't know what this means. Obvious, I'm guessing it's George Bush, but obviously that isn't George Bush, but I don't know what the point of this little plastic photo is. In Volume 2, The Change Process, Dr. Yockelson and Samanow present a detailed portrait of criminal behavior patterns. According to the authors, to achieve change, every one of the criminal's thinking processes described in Volume 1 must be eliminated by choice and will, and replaced. Volume 2 addresses this task. And the book was owned by Edward Hume, unless that's a school or something. But I assume it's a human entity. I don't have Volume 1, so I'll have to find it. I thought the book was going to be worth some money, but it's only worth like $5. Witchcraft, The History and Mythology by Richard Marshall. Oh yeah, there was this. I wonder if this store is still here. I don't know what this fell out of, but while I was at the thrift store buying the books, this fell out. And Earth Lore is there. 15076 Middle Belt in Livonia, Michigan. I'm not sure if it's still there. But this is some kind of stone guide, I guess. Forgot about Earth Lore. The place was there for many years. It may still be there. I don't know. Earth Lore. This is basically just kind of like an encyclopedia primer of witchcraft, but it's got good pictures, so it's worth it for only $1. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I don't really want to know. There he is, the Pied Piper. That's more like voodoo, isn't it? The Valkyrie, Odin's storm riding female warriors. That's a not very good looking woman there. That's some quality block art. Grim Familiar. Reports of familiars at Salem featured small birds and a hairy 2-footer with a long nose who enjoyed warming his backside at the kitchen fire. Not all were as manageable as suggested by this specimen with massive claws and muscular tail. Leashed for a stroll, dark with menace. I mean, this witch doesn't look like she's doing too well either. I mean, she's either fucking Al Jolson's sister or she got burned by that fire. Or that's just their death mask or something. Alright, that's all. That's all the books I found yesterday. Pretty good haul for like $15.